Okay, going back to question two, which is about including each other. So each of you have been paving the way in your respective fields, and it's so important for women to lift each other up instead of competing with each other. This could look like encouragement, empowerment, removing barriers, etc. So how do you or have you lifted other women up? And Devi, I think, oh,
Yes, sure, please.
I don't mind. I didn't know if there was an order. This definitely goes off on what I was talking about earlier. It's a huge drive in how we interview, how we hire, how we structure our team. When I'm recruiting, I mean, it's the number one thing that comes up in my mind. And when we're looking at groups of resumes, etc., is always nurturing that space within the space I'm able to control, which is obviously our restaurants. And then as well, this sort of group of, there's about 30 of us, more or less, that are owners, chefs, pastry chefs, etc. And it's like they're top of mind, like top of mind for referrals, top of mind for job opportunities, top of mind for all those types of pieces. And I think, it's like your sister gang, That's how it feels to me, especially with us having like a very similar, because the restaurants are a very specific culture, probably similar to some of the other women. Like aviation is obviously a very specific culture. It changes your operating hours. It changes who you can date. It changes how you go on holiday, because it's a sort of a life controlling industry. And so my experience has been that there's a tremendous bond that you have with those people that are in your same sort of micro world. And so I advocate very hard for including those people in all sorts of opportunities. It's also a bit selfish on my side because it makes me happier.
So for me, like I had seen women in my circle working very hard from their kindergarten till their graduation, and one fine day they get married. They're definitely happy and go to beautiful places. But all the effort that they put in from their childhood till that day to equip themselves get confined to some four walls, because they believe in keeping family together, or they want to raise a child, or they want to take care of their loved ones. That creates a impoverishing for meaningful work. That is something that I wanted to work on. So Nurture You Technologies, our company, is an all women company, and especially we employ women who have taken a career break. So this is to, and this help them to, so whichever stage of life they are, like maybe they are empty nesters, or just started their life, or family life, or just finished, the kids are in the senior school, that doesn't require much care. And we specifically employ them and upskill them, and then put them in front of the customers. So this gains them more respect, the support from the families among us for these women, because of course the economical contribution doesn't matter, but how they look up now their wife or the sister or the friend changed completely. The one who was doing majorly household chores and taking care of the family are now also contributing to the business world. They look up, and the respect they earn is huge, and that is something very uplifting for a woman. I felt Priyanka working on that and growing. And also further to add, like, see, I started with 5 women, and now it's a chain effect. Like now we're a team of 20. I am not able to keep in touch with everyone. This 5 women in turn touch lives of the other, and it's like cascading, touching lives. So we are becoming habituated to touch lives at Nurture.
I was visiting my mother's village last year, and there were these workers on the farm. They were just helping with the harvesting. So he had a daughter who had just finished her 12th grade, And they'd already told her, oh, my daughter is a pilot, and you know how moms are ever proud. So this girl came to me and she's like, Didi, do you think I can become a pilot? I said, yeah, of course, why not? But she's like, but you know my background. I'm from the village, and yeah, I've studied in English medium, but my spoken English is not very good. And I don't have the money, I don't have the funds. How am I going to manage? But do you think it can be a reality for me? So I said, yeah, most definitely. Give me some time. Let me figure it out, and I'll get back to you. So the good thing was that she had done her 12th grade with physics and maths, which is a mandatory requirement. So what we did was we came up with an idea. She had a family, they owned some land as well. So we had a talk with the parents, and they agreed to sell part of their land to get some funds for her flying training. And I spoke to some friends of mine. You know, we got some money together, and we gave it to this family. So this girl has now just finished her medical, and she's on her way to become a pilot. So because I told her, I said, if I can do it, anyone can. There's no distinction. There's nothing that sets us apart. Literally, there's nothing at all. So this is something that makes me feel really happy.
Yeah, I think I often get called out by my partner for how partial I am to women. And I think like since I was in a women's college and I studied in an all-girls school, I think I personally really enjoy working with women. And I think while we would have loved to have an all-women company like Devi does, I think that's it's harder to do that. But I think most of our top leadership team is women, and that's how we're continuing to hire. So that's one thing that I think we really enjoyed doing. All of us working with women, having women as leaders. I think it has brought a very different way of thinking and operating to our work. So.
That's awesome. Thank you all so much. There's definitely a piece in there of challenging how we think about leadership and what that looks like, and where that understanding comes from. And I do think a lot of it is based in just the historical context of where power has sat previously. But yeah, just kind of reimagining that for ourselves is really incredible. And I think like a piece that all of you kind of touched on as well is just the value of tangible ways of supporting each other structurally through policies in an equitable way as opposed to an equal way. And that as much as we can talk about culture, it's also really important to put these pieces in place so that we can support the different ways in which women engage with their careers and with their work from men in having multiple roles to play and different responsibilities in their community as well. Thank you so much for that. Our last question, building capacity for inclusive practice. So inclusive practice is hard work, and it takes a certain amount of self-awareness to be able to first direct care and acceptance inward before it guides our choices and actions for creating such spaces and practices for others. So recognizing that self-awareness is more of a process than an outcome, what do you do to take care of yourself? And just, I'll say you popcorn style, whoever wants to go first, feel free to. Devi.
Yeah, okay. So there are two ways of do things in my view. Like one is like, for some, the means matters. For some, the end matters. So for me, like the means matters. I belong to that category. Now, to run a company with the women who have taken a career break, upskill them, and I don't allow anyone to call our company as a social enterprise. We are an enterprise. We want to become profitable. We are revenue generating. We are not NGO. So to bring a career women into the career, upskill them and put them in front of customers and handle the business and satisfy those stakeholders. So very daunting task. It takes a toll on me to keep my sanity, and I definitely needed some let out. And thank God I was practicing heartfulness from 2012, and it gave that awareness to me that okay, how I have to equip myself, I have to converse with my team, what kind of words I should use, like how it will affect them or how it would motivate them. So, and especially in heartfulness, we have a cleaning process. So even and very first lesson I have learned is to forgive myself. So God forbid, like something I do, and if I'm going to hold on to that, oh, I did that, no, I forgive myself, and they are able to forgive easily others also. So the next day for me is a clean slate. It's blank, and we can write anything rather than carrying forward what was from the previous day. And thankfully, again, like got trained in heartful communication, I was able to listen well when someone says a problem, like able to go into that and understand what was the real words that they're trying to convey, what's the real emotion that they do convey, and without dismissing their emotions, able to understand more. So for me, it is heartfulness, that process. And know what, Priyanka, like, so as I say, like we are touching lives is our habit. Our women are now practicing heartfulness. Like it's not only me, my team is practicing heartfulness. They come and say how good they feel after heartfulness cleaning and heartfulness meditation. Thanks to the team and thanks to our guides.
Ironically, I cook. That's like my way of taking care of myself. It's actually incredible, like the therapeutic side of especially for other people, preparing food for other people that you care for, I find to be incredibly therapeutic. You know, the sourcing, the, you know, a farmer's market run, the thought, the creativity, the input, and then being able to enjoy it together. I'm lucky, like I'm not sort of, I'm in service, but not as much. And so I still have a lot of joy around the actual act of cooking, which is, yeah, exactly. So it's, I think that my original love of it was that it was a self-care thing. It was like, I'm having a stressful, you know, during COVID, for example, I was like cooking these elaborate, you know, braises and these elaborate meals because it was like the most tangible way that I could take care of myself.
I can just go.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think I really enjoy skincare. So I spend a lot of time and money on skincare products, skincare devices, doing like home sheet masks or like other sorts of home concoctions. And I really love taking walks or spending time with my dog and many cats. I think that all of that is self-care. And I think for the last 2 years, I've been fortunate enough to also be able to spend about 2 weeks every year with two of my best friends in different parts of the world. We took the time out to sort of meet somewhere and spend just time with each other, talking, cooking, doing the dishes, and just like chilling out. So I think all of those things are how I take care of myself.
So for me, I think self-care is internal and external. Externally, of course, I love skincare. I love going for massages, and I love just looking after myself in general. But it's the internal self-care which I feel has helped me a lot more. So what I really like to do is meditation. And it's probably, I can't overemphasize on the importance of meditation because the world outside of us is just getting more and more chaotic. You have to find a source of sanity. And if you can find that source within yourself, then you don't have to rely on anybody else for this sanity. No matter what situation you're in, you always know that, okay, I'm going to be okay. So turning inward, breath work, spending time with myself. And I don't mean that this has nothing to do with religion, because I'm not religious at all. But just focusing on your breath and just, asking yourself, how am I feeling today? If I'm sad, why am I sad? Has something happened? Is something affecting me? If this person said something to me, why is it bothering me in this way? And just basically talking to yourself and healing yourself first so that you can heal others around you.
Amazing. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate the piece around reframing mistakes through humility as learning opportunities, inspiring wellness in other people. Shaw, you talked a lot about how food is a love language. And yeah, just even if your passions and purpose are connected, still finding that personal connection with the things that bring you joy and love is really important. Krithika, to what you were sharing, I was thinking of something that one of my Indigenous policy professors has shared with us. Her name's Billy Allen. And in the Indigenous communities here, they refer to animals, winged, crawling, swimming, trees, rocks, soil, anything that is not human as more than human. And they talk about them as our more than human relatives. And so I think the pieces that you were talking about as well, to me, was that connection, going back into connecting with our more than human relatives. So thank you for that. And lastly, Janvi, yeah, just again, kind of reinforcing that embodied practice. And I really love the piece you said about finding the source of sanity within yourself and turning inward. So really appreciate that.